in what ways is the deadbeat dad term thrown at a father? Emotional versus financial failure. Gatekeeping. In some cases, a father's absence is not a choice. Here we go talking about parental alienation. If you go to the website prosperunlimited.com, I have a whole series laid out on postpartum and parental alienation. How postpartum leads to parental alienation. Get into it. But maternal gatekeeping occurs when a custodial parent limits access to the child if a father feels he is being treated as an ATM with no parental rights. And this is why it's important not only to set up child support, but it's also important to set up visitation. He is statistically more likely to withdraw entirely. Yeah, because it's not worth it. Like he's looking at the economics of it. He's like, yo, I'm paying the child support. Like, I got to pay to see my own children. You know what I mean? But she don't care. Nobody wins when the family feuds. She don't care. You know what I'm saying? So gatekeeping, emotional versus financial failure, and gatekeeping. The third one, what are the three ways that a woman will throw the deadbeat dad term on a man? Is using shame. The last one is using shame as leverage. The label originated in the 1970s specifically as a tool for social shaming to increase state revenue through child support. Yeah, shame. So it's basically all revolving around shame. Yeah. So serial fatherhood. Now this is one I wanted to take my time with, because I remember when the whole bitter baby mom. I was going through the whole bitter baby mama trope personally. Shout outs to her. You know what I'm saying? She knows she is. When I was going through that, trying to pay child support, put myself through college, and pay rent, all at the same time. You know what I mean? And then be present in my children's lives. Yeah. At one point I was ready to throw my hands up and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna move on. Like, is this really worth it? You know what I'm saying? In the same way, with all, like, I got to deal with all of this, and one of the most painful patterns observed in sociology is serial fatherhood, where a man disengages from his biological children while becoming an active father or stepfather in a new household. And I think this is where a lot of the deadbeat dads, the quote unquote, I gotta say quote unquote, a lot of the quote unquote deadbeat dads are. They're in other households. They're starting new families. They're being stepfathers to other kids. You know what I'm saying? Whereas his biological children may be hundreds of miles away or guarded by a hostile ex-partner. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just easier. It's just easier. Not saying that is right. Not saying that it's right, but it's easier. And see, a lot of this is on y'all. These mothers, man, these single mothers, it's y'all. It's really y'all. It's really y'all. Y'all can try to buck the system, pass the buck, whatever the buck, but it's y'all. I'm telling you, don't pray to God, pray to karma. Resource dilution. When a father has children with a new partner, his financial and emotional resources are stretched. I just said that, didn't I? Often the new family takes priority because it's his current support system. So yeah, serial fatherhood. So now, are they better off? Are these quote unquote deadbeat dads better off without the kids? The idea that these men are enjoying life, are enjoying a carefree life, is largely a myth. Mental health. Non-custodial fathers report higher rates of depression and disenfranchised grief. The loss of the protector provider identity can lead to a sense of worthlessness. I've been there. I always knew my worth. I always stood on business. So even when I did feel those feelings, I always had to come back to square one. And it was those feelings of that depression and that like as it's called, disenfranchised grief. It was those feelings that drove me and motivated me to want to be more participative and involved in my kid's life. So yeah, mental health is a thing. Child outcomes. Children are almost never better off without a father unless the father is actively abusive. Children with involved fathers, even if they live apart, show better academic performance and emotional regulation. That's true too. The guilt cycle. For many fathers, the shame of being behind on child support and having missed significant milestones creates a shame spiral, and that also adds to the depression and the grief. Yeah. There was a point in time I was before I did my last big move. I was this close to living in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I was this close to living in Miami, and with the kind of hustle that I have and the kind of brain that I have, my life I would have been one of them dudes on Instagram pouring ace of spades in the section, of the club. You know what I'm saying? Of Live or whoever. I'd have been that guy. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, I got grown men out here in the world who don't know me. but share my DNA. You feel me? Like I couldn't live. I wouldn't be. I'm just not built that way. I'm sorry. So, lastly, the 4 types of non-custodial fathers. Let's get into it. The willfully negligent. First, number 1, the 4 types of non-custodial fathers. The willfully negligent. The true deadbeat has money but chooses not to provide. That's the true deadbeat. That's the true definition of a deadbeat. Has money but chooses not to provide. The ones living lavish, the ones out here balling and you know what I'm saying, making it rain. Meanwhile, their kids don't know them. That's a true deadbeat. The kids are struggling and starving and don't know them, and they out here balling. Those guys are the huge minority. You know what I'm saying? But those are the true deadbeats. Number 2. So the first type of non-custodial father is the willfully negligent one, right? Number 2, the second type of non-custodial father, the systemically trapped, the dead broke father, not the deadbeat. He's not a deadbeat. He's dead broke, who wants to provide but is unemployed or in debt. Okay, that's understandable. That's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? It's reasonable because it's, you know, there's a reason behind it, right? So that's number 2. So the first one is willfully negligent. Number 2 is systemically trapped. Number 3, the third type of non-custodial father is the emotionally avoidant. This engages because because the emotional or legal warfare with the mom is too painful. Exactly. That's not a deadbeat at all. That's just a nigga that's tired. Like, that's a motherfucker that's tired. I know that feeling. I never gave into the feeling, but I do know the feeling. So the 4 types of non-custodial fathers: number 1, willfully negligent; number 2, systemically trapped; number 3, emotionally avoidant; and number 4, the last type of non-custodial father is the actively alienated, wants to be involved but is legally or physically prevented by the other parent. Y'all single mothers, man. That shit gonna come back on y'all, man. Y'all better stop, man.